Welcome. A Rose of Victory is probably one of my favorite EVE Online songs, but this is a nebulous game. Another game about 3D space battles. And we're going to have an ANS versus an OSP in on Honeycomb. Honeycomb is the map. We're about to see what's going on. We got 2 golds on the OSP side, and we got 3 silvers and 1 blue on the ANS side, which puts the experience advantage firmly on the OSP inside. And here we are. This is Honeycomb. You've seen it before. You may have seen it before. It's pretty common. It's a pretty common map. It's a mod map. It's not one of the default maps. And here we are. Everybody placing their ships, deploying them, perhaps putting together a solid strategy. Alright, well anyway, let's introduce the players. Riv Sir Poopit, this is ANS side. Mungo Parker, MNC. KNRC, Kenrick. And Caw, Crow X8. I think Crow X8 and Mungo Parker are a team. They have a shared, what's it called, image for their ships, a shared flag, if you will. Husky Lord, Quiz, VSS Vastol, and RNV from And Kalamia. And we've got a minute to go before the game starts. Let's see what happens. The players, if they just click the button, we can start right away, but players may or may not be agreeing on what they're doing. I personally am a just place it immediately and hit the button and then go like do something else person, but not everybody is. And what you're looking at right in front of you is an ANS ship. That's an Alliance Naval Service ship. They are the high-tech and advanced faction from Caw. Caw, Fingers, Bones, Dust, lovingly named. That's not a randomly generated name. It's a heavy cruiser. Now this is a pretty interesting heavy cruiser because they have neglected, or I guess it's not neglect in this case, it is a conscious choice to not use the hard point on the back. That is an empty hard point, folks. You don't see that very often. A rare decision. It's a beam heavy cruiser with 2 guns on the front. 2 guns is not very many. Here we have the sister ship, Caw, Eyes, Teeth, Glass. Ice and lockers small. I would think that you could fit more points on your ship this way. 2 active decoys. Where are all of the points? Crow did bring a 3,000 point ship. Surely it's not in ammunition. Ammunition is, it's more ammunition than normal. Raider drive, whiplash drive, stonewall, particle accelerator, microreactor, ammunition elevators. I don't think you need the ammo elevator. Oh my gosh, it's the double magazine. That is commitment. I think it's a mistake. And I am here to judge. I'm sorry, Caw, but I do not approve of your fleet, even if it is unique. Over here we have KNRC Unbroken Vow, a battleship. This is a gun battleship with a missile backpack. If I haven't said it before, I like missile backpacks on ships. Mungo Parker, bringing 1 destroyer and a swarm of sprinters, and it looks like they are all over the map right now, capping those points. And we're not going to go over every single one, but just know that these little sprinters have a variety of potential uses and applications. They're kind of the space pickup of the game, and you can see here we've got one little flag here, got one little flag here. They're very similar flags, so I'm pretty sure they're on the team. Sir Poopit from Riv Beer already being spotted. I mean, when you're a battleship, it's hard to miss you. And one little beamstone down here. Pardon the throat clear. Flycatcher missiles already coming out. I think that these are normally a waste, but they do draw out the defender missiles, and that can be worth it just by itself. Over here we have Quiz with a swarm fleet as well. A bunch of small vessels here to take the points. And here we go, they've got their first missiles coming out here. These are real missiles, size 2 missiles, not those tiny things that Mungo was launching. These could actually do damage. And if they have the active and command means that they will almost certainly hit, provided the track is not lost. And what was that just on the hairy edge of the range? Oh my goodness. Quiz, that is a mistake on Quiz's part. Here we've got more. These ones, hopefully, yeah, there we go. That was really odd to look at from over there. Those missiles, they just couldn't make it all the way, so they reached their detonate point and detonated before they hit the target. If they could have gone, 50 meters further, it would have been great. Mungo Parker already losing ships, though. We didn't see how these other ships were lost, but I have a feeling it may have been 2 missiles. Though this one has run into the guns of VSS Vastal. Vastal bringing the not container liners, the cargo liners. The cargo liners can output the most firepower in the game. They're just very large ships. This is 8 guns on one ship. I mean, certainly the most economical firepower that you can bring to a fight. Sure, this ship can bring 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guns. It could bring 11 guns if it really wanted to, but a battleship is typically so expensive you're only going to be bringing 1. You can bring 2 of these guys, and each of them brings a battleship's essentially equivalent of guns on it. It can be very brutal, and Riv Beer is about to find that out. And they do have the 11 gun loadout here. The battleship's main advantage over these ships is the armor, but under the withering fire, armor does not necessarily, it lets you keep shooting a little longer, but it is not necessarily the thing that wins you the battle. It's the firepower that wins you the battle. These ships already taking their shells, and we've got a big gun battle right here. Right off the bat, Husky Lord also down here with another swarm. It's sticking closer together than Quiz's. That's normally better for the long-term health of ships. Quiz dropping us some mines. That's interesting just to know that they are going to have some mines here. More of their missiles. These ones a little bit... Nope, they're just weaving a different direction. No corkscrew here. Mungo Parker is taking quite the hits here with their shuttles and sprinters and everything. These are some corkscrews. Those are not weaves, those are corkscrews. Okay, I was not mistaken seeing those at first. I thought those were weaves, not corkscrews. Missiles can be given different instructions for how they are supposed to close towards their targets. They can corkscrew or they can weave. Corkscrew defeats more point defense, or makes it harder for mundane point defenses to knock them out of the sky than weave, but weave still does the job. Alright, so we've gotten Husky Lord. Husky Lord has 1 ship. This is also a cargo liner. And you can see it's got the smaller 250 guns, not the 450, not the massive 450s from Vastal. Vastal, by the way, having 2 support ships here with the jammers, making sure that Beer down here can't see. And you can see this little grayed out cross right here. That cross means that a ship is spotted or not spotted. So Sir Poopit down here, tracked by enemy sensors. Vastol not tracked by enemy sensors, and why is it? It's because of these little jammers right here. Outputting false radar signals. Who says you can't hide liners under jammers? I mean, they are at a long range. These ships are so big, kind of hard to hide behind jammers, but Vastol's got the right situation for it. Poopit might have a spyglass. Let's see. Different radar. That is a spyglass radar. There it goes. The spyglass radar, a little bit susceptible to jamming. You need a parallax if you want to get through jamming, or you need some special bits to get through jamming, and it's not working out for Mr. Poopit out here. Sir Poopit, in fact. No bullseye. Wait, no bullseye. Okay. That's a little odd. Typically, you bring a parallax if you don't have a bullseye, so you can get a lock. Oh no, Sir Poopit out here with an ill-equipped ship. But that's why they've got this. Crow went 4 TCs instead. Four track correlators. Yep. Those are accurate guns, but sadly, it only takes one jammer to make those guns never see what they should be. However, they can see somebody is getting a spot on Edwin Fisher, the jammer ship right here, and that might be Unbroken Vow up here. Unbroken Vow with the parallax. Parallax is going to do a little bit better at seeing through that jamming, though they are not close enough to be helping out Mr. Poopit out here, and they probably should be. Poopit, fortunately, there's a lot of armor on these ships, and so they can take some serious punishment before they start taking serious damage. And there are a lot of restores on this ship. So, at the very least, Riv Beer is able to take the punishment. Some crippled ships just staring at each other over here. Potentially a future graveyard. We've got over here ships that we have not seen yet, but that need to be introduced. These are monitors. Monitors have quite a lot of firepower. You can see the C-90 gun on the front and the smaller 100mm guns on the side. Running straight into Mr. Crow. And Crow, oh no. Otenhire getting the flank on this ship. This ship is not looking too good. Both the guns are down. There is a second one here, and this laser down here is pretty deadly, though the issue is MF sending his BB home. Yeah, it does look like it. It does look like this guy is sending his BB home, and Crow has got to be a little bit frustrated by this. To be getting flanked on all sides here. These two battleships up here ready to do battle with the big guns, but they're not doing it. They aren't bringing the pressure, which is leaving Crow out here unable to fight back against these. I mean, these ships are very adept at killing anything that's smaller than a battleship. The C-90 cannon shoots 600mm shells. That's bigger than the battleship's shells. OSPN, by the way, the counter to, or the opposing faction to ANS, is the space truckers, the space pirates, the space miners, generally the less well-equipped revolting faction to the ANS. And we don't even have an Ocello on this battlefield, and that's the closest that the OSP come to a true dedicated warship. Caw, Fingers, Bones, and Dust, turning down here. Has not gotten a beam. Oh, nope, it has. Florette looks like it has been caught by the beam, and that's taken out the reactor. Oh, no, and here comes another one. Oh, but that's not the beam of the battleship. That is the beam of MNC Spad Mobile HQ, which is the ship of Mungo Parker. Mungo Parker getting a devilish little kill there, And here we are, the beam from the heavy cruiser going a little wide here. On issue beams sometimes have. This guy is locked, so it's on the beam. Don't battle short that beam. It might be tempting, but you can keep it a lot longer. This ship going to hide here. They are restoring their guns. They're going to need to. Though restoring a beam cannon is kind of risky here. Oh no. And restoring it under fire is always even riskier. Poopit has made it to cover. Dusty Attenborough and Alexandre Dukak. These are lovingly named ships again. Marino? These are not randomly generated, I do not believe. I think those names sound familiar, but I do not know where they come from. The purple cross right there meaning that this battleship has got a very inaccurate track on these ships out here. And I need a drink of water, but we'll keep going. Liz Iske. The ship is so small that the shells just blast clean through it. These are probably high explosive shells, but they're still going to overpin here. Wiz Iske is just, it does not have the armor, so the shells are just going to pass through. It'll eventually die here, but it will take a little bit longer and be a little bit ammo inefficient. These ships pointing just not quite the right way. Mungo Parker going to hide behind the rock. Maybe get away here. And this ship, looking at those ranges, this ship does not want to make itself known yet. But they are probably thinking about Utnahire more than they are Kalmia. Gonna be completely honest here, it's looking like OSPN has the advantage right now. This game is a King of the Hill game, and it's not just because of the points they have the advantage. Here we go. Dusty Attenborough and friends. Shellen, the Unbroken Vow from Kenrick. Kenrick getting those locks, but they don't have a bullseye. Now they do have those burn-through locks. Burn-through locks gotten from overloading the radar a little bit, and it's enough to score some hits. Battleship definitely has the capability of going toe-to-toe with these ships, but with those jammers, and here's the lock. The lock is here, and this ship might not be long for this world if they can't reload fast enough, or if the battleship is not accurate enough. Poopit. If Poopit could only get out from behind the rock and aid the other battleship, this could go very well. They could turn the tide very easily. A hybrid missile, potentially a very deadly hybrid missile, we'll have to see. It's rare that we see people launch single missiles, but Kenrick had only 6 in the tank. And so it's quite possible that this is a very deadly missile. It's HCAP. It's going to have to get through the grape shot, and it looks like the grape shot has worn out, but it also has to get through the AAMs. Oh no, will it make it? No, it won't. You should have launched 2, sir. If you launch 1, there's a good chance it won't even get there. Fence and Gift. Well, if you look at their flag, you might recognize that. Here we are. Here we are. The jammers are coming out. They have spotted the heavy cruiser. The heavy cruiser gonna have a very, very narrow amount of time to do damage if it chooses to fight this, and I don't think that they should. Oh no, they're shooting at OSPN with the dirty tricks. They've got decoy line containers. They look like they're ships, but they are actually not ships. They pop up on radar as ships, but unless you get close enough, or you have long enough to look at them, you can't recognize that they are not, in fact, a ship. They're just a cargo container with a radar inside of it that pings a signature that looks like a ship. Unbroken Vow, looking like they're doing a little better than Sir Poopit's ship. The parallax radar probably has something to do with it, but neither of these ships are jamming. They have burned out their jammers. Not something you necessarily want to do. Battle short can be a great asset, but as the battle wears on, it does not necessarily pay for itself. I was talking about how this game is a King of the Hill game. Whoever captures the most points wins the game, and D point remains uncaptured. D and E were captured by OSPN. However, it looks like Sir Poopit, not to be idle, has maneuvered their very slow ship over here, the battleship, over the E and captured it. Quiz Ishke is still alive, so they'll uncap it as soon as somebody gets back. The mobile HQ lasering at the decoy container. Piranha rockets cruising through space. Oh no, Mungo Parker, if you don't move. If you don't move, oh my gosh. Taking a rocket hit, you shouldn't be taking a rocket hit on a sprinter like that, but I guess they were not paying attention, so it happens. Mungo Parker auto-firing back at these ships, and it's working out because they just caused the critical on the Sun Drive. I'm not even sure that was intentional. This is really sad. The beam is down again. It'll keep happening. When you lose the beam, it's pretty bad. Unbroken Vow moving forward, taking C. Oh no! This is no good. Quiz's little ship. What was it? Yeah, this little ship right here. A point blank reactor bloom for beer. You can see they've got some fires and some damage that they're going to get, but that's not the real risk here. The real risk is that you will see it when the dust clears a little bit. Unbroken Vow taking hits where they don't want to be taking them. I don't think that they need to be peeking this rock at the moment until they're fully repaired. Moreover, they've got a ship. If they're not angled correctly, these shells are going to do a lot more damage, and they're sliding in onto the side here, and they don't want that. Here we go, another torpedo, cyclonic torpedo. Wonder what that means. And it got completely destroyed. You need to launch your missiles all together. They're supposed to be... it's hurting me to see these missiles just not connect. And they're probably 50 points each. I'm probably almost guaranteed to hit. Here we are. You can see all of the armor burned off. It doesn't show up on the guns, but that's just the oversight of the game, not a indication of where armor truly is. Sir Poopit has lost all of his armor because it was burned off by this ship that was right here exploding. I didn't think it was going to explode there, but it did. When I checked it, it had a engine failure, not a reactor failure. Or I was mistaken, and I'm misremembering. So now the two battleships are up here, and they are engaging Vastal. Vastal likely won't be able to hold up here. Very fortunately for ANS, they are back in the game, capturing some points here. And they've got two Beamstone destroyers, and Beamstone destroyers are very good. They might not be great at attacking things, but they are probably unmatched in denying the opponent the ability to take points. And here we are, we're about to see, I think, a laser from Crow. Crow alone on this side, mostly. And there we go, size 1 missile hits and does almost nothing. More missiles. There goes the laser. The laser is going to take out the reactor. It's going to take out the engine. This ship, Chwaka, is done. The rocket's trying to come out here. The laser trying to track, but these ships are too fast and too close. Speed tanking that laser. The laser won't be able to catch this thing, but there is a second laser up here. And that laser, angular velocity a little bit lower. This ship might be able to be hit by that laser. That laser just needs to reload itself, cool itself off. But as it moves away, Crow's gonna get a nice shot on it. But Crow doesn't need to get the shot on it because it comes from the other side. The double lasers are going to end this ship really quick, though. Two little shuttles making a mad dash around these, but it does not work out. It rarely does. Beer out here, taking the shells. You can see they're taking lots of damage. Vastal wasting no time in pressing the advantage on poor Sir Poopit over here, who's just being blasted by these shells. You can see all of the damage components. 2 radars out. They probably can't even see these ships right now. Unbroken Vow trying its best to keep up here, taking out Edwin Fisher, but Edwin Fisher is not a equivalent exchange for a battleship here. Do they have multiple magazines? Yes, they do. The redundancy, very important for ships like this. This ship, Pub Droll, probably best if it just sits right here and does not move. Or perhaps it's going to try. Now, if it has a radar on it... it does have a parallax. The scout going to show up, getting the track finally for Beer over here, so Beer can fire back. Beer's guns all working. These ships turning. Oh no, I don't think that they need to turn, but they are turning. That's another cyclonic torpedo coming out. We have yet to see one actually hit, but here it goes. I think it's too big. I think it's built for Ocellos. I think it went through right here. It didn't kill anything. It's a good missile, but it's gonna need to get the right angle because it is one of those HCAP missiles. HCAP, deadly against ANS, not so against OSP. They just don't have enough armor. Armor penetration just shoots your missile straight through, and the missile blows up a little bit too late. Quiz. We have not been seeing Quiz's battle, but they have been here and there and all over the place. And they only have 2 ships left. Mungo Parker has preserved most of their ships, and they are sliding up here capturing C. These little ships are very important. They don't necessarily... Oh, there we are. Another cyclonic torpedo hitting here. Can't see the crippling damage. It could have been from the guns. We're going to see one last one. Here it goes. Missile deciding where it wants to go. And going down here, Dusty Attenborough. And there we are. We see the explosion on the wrong side of the ship. Though that one... that one did get 3 components right there, so that's potentially a very good one. Getting large DC storage, which means that this ship cannot repair as much as it could anymore. These 2 ships finally getting destroyed, and you can see they get picked apart pretty quickly once a couple of guns start landing on them. That being said, this is 3,000 points, and these 2 ships between the 2 of them are probably over 5,000 points, so they should win, just by point count. Vastal, I think, easily paying for themselves this game. Crow doing their best at staying alive, and they didn't have to be alive this long. This ship has done more than I would have thought, seeing it at first getting decimated by these ships. These ships, their main weakness is that they kind of have to stick together, and that makes them kind of slow. Other than that, they're a obscenely powerful ship. They have tons of firepower for their size and point cost, and they have quite a bit of armor as well. They almost have battleship level armor on most of them. It's a deceptive amount of armor these ships have. The HCAT missiles would have been a wonderful usage, wonderfully used if they hit these ships. Piranha rockets, oh my gosh. It's rare that you see it on these guys, but this guy, we must have missed it, has a rocket launcher, perhaps another or 2. No, it's just 1 back there. No, 2 right back there. The laser coming out, and lasers are good, but they struggle a little bit against a big ship like this. And are we at the hairy edge of the range? Oh my gosh, it's hard to tell. No, we are well within the range that laser should be doing damage. I'm not sure why it's not. One cruise container coming up here. It's probably going to be defeated. It's trying its best. Is this a battle shorted laser? I think it is. I don't think you need to battle short that laser, sir, but it does take out the CIC. Oh my goodness, that is infuriating. But they have 2 CICs. Ah, man. Another container. I don't think it has a track, so I think this container is just going to kill itself. Ooh, yeah. There we go. It just bonks into the rock. Spad Mobile. Almost shooting something and changing its mind. You never want to do that with a beam. It wastes a lot of beam time when you do that. Claw, Eyes, Teeth, Glass is making a run for it, and I don't think this run was well advised. Or perhaps it was well advised and they just didn't have complete information. Because these ships are going to make short work of it. Spad Mobile, taking out Noel W. Grain. Let's check back over here. Battleships uncontested. Battleships have the same weakness that those monitors do, and that's that they're really freaking slow. And oh no, running straight into a mine. Whew. Colon 3. These sprint mines are pretty deadly though. Some of them are, ooh, I think one got through there. Oh no, 3 get through. I think one of them took out the PD, that's the point defense, and now this ship has been mined. Mines are pretty deadly. You can see the repair team scrambling all over the place, fires everywhere. Things are out. 5 restores remaining. Magazine is out. VLS launcher is out. Nothing, I think, game ending for this ship is out, but it's looking not so great. Those mines had some serious potential, and they are going to pause the ship for a little bit because all of the engines are out, except that Dragonfly drive, and I don't think that's enough. Going to give this ship a chance to get those shells on it. Those shells, T-20s, those are small shells. They're not going to do very much to this ship. But should they hit spots that have been de-armored, and this ship has taken a lot of shells, so there probably are a lot of de-armored spots. I don't think the graphics properly show if it has not been plasma. They might do a little bit of damage. Spad Mobile has destroyed a lot of ships down here. I think most of these little ships have been destroyed by Spad Mobile. Or maybe Claw and Fingers. Fingers and Eyes. Okay. Crows don't have fingers, but they do have eyes. Not sure why glass is related with crows, but it somehow sounds right. Reactor Bloom. Claw, Teeth, and Eyes. Reactor Blooming. Taking too much damage from these ships over here. R&V Scar and the like. Kenrick. Getting repairs. The ship is moving again. What will happen? Poop it out here. Their ship looking surprisingly well compared. Well, oh, out of DC lockers. Not looking as well as I originally thought. B point is going to be taken by the battleship. These two battleships doing a surprising amount of work for spending their time going, well, maybe a little bit of an odd direction at the start of the game. Vastal is basically out. They've got one ship over here, Marino. No restores remaining. But it took this, it did take the C point, I believe. And here we go. The game is entering the late game, and the late game of Nebulous is sadly a little bit on the boring side. I don't think you're going to get too much interesting stuff going on. I think you're just going to be watching the last whimpers of whatever ships are left, and it's going to be a little bit of a cripple fight. It normally is. ANS has 3 points, and I think they're going to need a 4th in order for them to win. There's 150 points that OSP needs to win, and there's 350 points that ANS needs to win. And they get OSPN gets 2 points a tick, and ANS gets 3 points a tick. You can do a little bit of math, so by the time ANS gets 300 points, OSP is going to get 200 points, which means that OSP, they only need 150 to win. ANS needs over 300 to win, so ANS definitely needs another point to win. What's it going to be? Will they be able to get it? It looks like this little ship is in the right spot at the right time. Mungo Parker doing the team a great service by keeping this little ship alive in some capacity. I don't think this ship will ever fire again. It can't restore both the magazine and the cannons, but it is going to gap the point, uncontested. Camilla down here going to shoot the battleship. The battleship I don't think can fight back. It's just too tired at this point. You can see that big 600mm shell passing by, and the plasma's just going to rip whatever armor remains off of this thing. The 450 AP will make it through these ships, and you can see these ships have taken a couple of bits of damage. The thruster is out on this one. This ship's taken some hits from, actually, that might just be battle short. Huntress is taking a shot. That might just be that might just be a burn through. Yeah, you can see everything is falling apart on Kenrick, but the ship has definitely done its duty this game. I mean, you can always say it might be more efficient to do one thing instead of the other. There's really only one fleet left for OSP. This ship is still quite a threat. Though, I'm not sure it knows. It's not pointing the right way. Mungo Parker might get another excellent kill right here. This ship is locked. Mungo had better start moving if they're gonna move at all. I'm not sure who has locked this ship. Who has locked it? There we are. Cross fingers. Stand on the point. That ship is moving a little too fast for that beam. Don't battle short that beam, sir. Oh no, they have not turned battle short off, and it's just burning itself out. This is so sad. It doesn't need to be doing this. People battle short their beams too much. You need to turn it off. You need to know when it's time to not do that anymore. If you battle short it when it has no damage, it's just going to keep going. But one ship that can battle short its beam a little more is this one. Battle shorting the beam just means that it starts taking damage when it starts firing. But it never stops firing as long as the battle short is on. If OSP gets this point, I think it's completely over for ANS. Oh no, they're taking B as well. They're going to take D. I think it's over for A and S. ANS could kill this ship, but I don't think it would matter if they do. The beam doing very quick work on this ship. This ship does not have to... I mean, it's so close. Mungo Parker, within 3,000 meters. You might say that's a short range for space, but yes. Oh, this game, for the sake of human use, has toned down all of the ranges of space. Quite a bit. Just to make the game fun. Beer still out here doing some work. Now at this point, let's do a little bit of math. That laser's coming up here. Please turn the battle short off, sir. Securing zone dagger. I think A and S still needs 1 point. It's going to be very close as it stands, but they will need another point, if I'm not mistaken. If only you just turn the battle short off, sir. You're burning your beam out before it does anything. Mobile HQ. These ships normally a little bit more adapted for the battle shorting. Though you don't need the battle short in this situation. You're just shooting one ship. Battle short's great when you want to make sure that you don't take any more damage at all. And great for those first encounters. Here we are. Vastal finally out. Sir Poopit's destroyer going to rush up to D. It'll be close, I think. Well, this will be quite a close one at the end. D is completely out of reach for anybody at the moment. You need a torpedo sprinter to get very lucky to get this guy. Both teams probably kicking themselves, wishing that they had an extra ship or two. Rap Lousy is dead in the water. These other ships doing their best to kill in the battleship, but the battleships take a while to kill. In order to take this point from the battleship, they're going to have to disable all of the weapons on the battleship or take out one of the CICs. I'm looking for a CIC. I'm not seeing one. Here it is. CIC is probably going to go first. Taking out the magazine could also work. And these ships just sitting here trying to shoot it as best they can. That would definitely secure it for OSP, though I think OSP still wins. I don't think this ship can get to C and uncap it fast enough. There is a chance, though. We're going to see, though. I think it's going to be within like 1 or 2 ticks of either team winning. Poopit out here, still doing tons of work. That issue with the jamming now all but forgotten. Theoretically, I think they could just jam up here. Oh, they've got containers on here. They could just jam up here, and I think that Mr. Beer up here could not do anything. Not sure why the ship's rotating so hard. It does not need to. If only this ship moved a hair faster. I think OSP is just going to win. I don't think that even if ANS gets on the point, they're going to cap in time. We are in the slow-mo ending of this game. GG. People are calling GG. It's looking like it's solidly OSP. People are saying that it's very close. But it's just a math problem at the end of the day. How many points does each person get? Too close, Lamel? I don't know. It seems kind of common to get close games in this game. And there we are, OSP winning by 18 points out of 1,000. Alright. Let's see MVPs for both teams. Let's see who did the best. In terms of damage, damage doesn't show all the picture. So if we remember a ship capturing a point, we're going to have to mention it. Scrolling through here, OSPN, I'm going to have to say that I'm going to give it to Dusty Attenborough just because they did a lot of damage. And this fleet tied down 2 battleships for a good portion of the game, for at least half of the points being claimed. And that's pretty good, even if the battleships did eventually kill them. And to think you doubted my BB going home strat. Cough, fingers, and bones and dust. Fingers definitely doing better than eyes. Honestly, I want to give the ANS MVP to SPAD Mobile HQ. Simply because it made sure that that point at home never got lost, which was pretty important. So Attenborough and SPAD getting the MVPs of each team. I do believe this game. And that's it, folks.